Hi, it's Mary. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you for joining me here today, where we're going to talk about our fourth book of this month. And as you remember last time, I pulled from the To Be Read jar the graphic novel Victor and Nora. And I read that, but I also read these graphic novels as well. So we're going to talk about all four of these books here today. Three of them, so Victor and Nora, The Oracle Code, and Shadow of the Batgirl, are DC graphic novels. And the fourth one is Banned Book Club, and that is a biography in graphic novel form. So first is the one I pulled from the To Be Read jar, Victor and Nora. And that's written by Lauran Myracle and illustrated by Isaac Goodhart. It is about 17-year-old Victor Freeze, whose older brother died tragically in an accidental fire. Unable to cope, Victor's parents have turned away from him and from one another. And Victor has turned into himself as well. And he has devoted himself to his research into cryogenics. Then Victor meets and falls for Nora, but Nora has secrets of her own. She is dealing with the disease that develops in stages, and it's uncurable. As she goes on, the disease will take away her short-term memory, and then her long-term memory, and then her motor control, and then everything. Nora has decided that she is not going to let it go that far. When Victor learns of her illness, he is determined to find a solution. And if he cannot find a cure now, maybe he can keep her alive until a cure is discovered. The Oracle Code by Marieke Nijkamp, illustrated by Manuel Preitano. And I should say at this point that I apologize if I am pronouncing any of the names incorrectly. So Barbara Gordon and her friend Benjamin are on the roof working on the computers when they hear over the police radio of an armed robbery in progress. Barbara decides that she's going to go look into what's going on, and at the armed robbery, she is shot. Paralyzed below the waist and in a wheelchair, her father takes her for rehabilitation to the Arkman Center for Independence. Here, she meets others dealing with similar issues and becomes friends with a few of the girls. But Barbara can't shake the feeling that something at the center isn't quite right. One night, upset, Barbara cries out, and another patient, Jenna, comes into the room. Jenna tells her about herself and her brother, who were both the only survivors of a fire that killed their whole family. And then, to help her sleep, Jenna tells Barbara stories. But one day she sees Jenna, and Jenna tells Barbara that her brother has disappeared. And so Barbara decides to investigate. And when she talks to the director of the center, he tells her that Jenna's brother, Michael, actually died in the fire too, and Jenna was the only survivor. And a few days later, Jenna is also gone, and the story is that Jenna has been sent away for treatment elsewhere. But has she really, or is there something very troubling going on? It's up to Barbara to put all the pieces together and discover what's going on. Shadow of the Batgirl by Sarah Kuhn, illustrated by Nicole Goux. Cassandra has been trained as an assassin by her father, David Kane. While on a mission, she chooses to not kill the man she is supposed to, sensing in him a humanity that she refuses to destroy. Choosing to not be a killer, she also knows that she cannot return home. Wandering the streets and with nowhere else to go, she is befriended by a restaurant owner, Jackie, who invites her in, gives her a place to clean up, gives her clean clothes, and gives her food. Feeling undeserving of this kindness, she runs off, where she wanders into the local library, where the librarian, Barbara Gordon, is leading a group on writing stories. Cass listens from afar and soon is working as an intern, helping Barbara archive articles and listening to Barbara's tales of Batgirl. Soon she also befriends another intern there, Eric. From her friend, she learns to trust herself and she learns that she can determine her own destiny. But will her father let her go so easily? And if he doesn't, what can she do? Banned Book Club by Kim, Hyun, Sook, and Ryan Estrada, illustrated by Hyung-Ju. And this is the story of Kim Hyun Sook's early college years in South Korea in 1983. And that was the time of South Korea's Fifth Republic, a military regime that was kept in power through a system of censorship, spies, terror and torture, and murder. So when Kim Hyun Sook begins college, she is interested in learning and she wants to read books. She's invited to join a book club, but she has no idea that it involves reading books that have been banned. Her eyes are opened to the state of the country by the things that she reads and by the experiences of her friends in the book club and her own experiences. And she soon realizes that the delights of reading great works of literature can be overshadowed by fear and by violence. And there we are. 4 graphic novels that were interesting, each in their own way. So I hope you check out our graphic novel and manga collection at the library, and I will be back next week along with the To Be Read Jar, where we will pull 4 more titles and discover what I am reading in May. I hope that you'll join me then, and I thank you very much for joining me today. Until I see you again, I hope that all of your stories are good ones. And thank you.